Back, y'all. How you doing? This is SHU AMUN RA, and this is part 3 of Sex Chronicles Chapter 8 verses 18, part 3. Yeah, it's not going to be easy to just try to cram everything up together. No, it's not going to work like that. Because it's a whole lot to cover when it comes to weddings. It's a whole lot to cover, and I really believe a lot of you will not get a better understanding. We have to cover this, break it down as best as possible. And we're going to do our best. And I know a lot of you, you're not going to want to hear it. Not going to like, oh, he's just talking a bunch of bull crap. Anytime when you start speaking the truth, you're going to get people who's going to be very angry and disgusted because they don't want to know. They don't want you to know their whole entire format of their plans of what they're doing. And a lot of you live in a lie. You live this lie, and it's based on for you to trap the man. And this is how you want to marry him. This is what you believe. You know what I mean? In this generation of curses, generations of lies that we have betrayed through the black community, and the divorce rate is so high. I remember in the 70s, because I'm a 60s baby. In the 70s, the divorce rate in the black family was very low, meaning we stood together. Our family stood together. Even if the mother and the father didn't get along, the mother and the father stayed together and to keep the whole entire family together. So there wouldn't be no kind of divorce rate. The children didn't have to live this life of the father's gone or the mother's gone. Even if the father had left, and I'm telling you for a fact, even if the father left because he couldn't take it no more, he was weak, or maybe the mother and the father could not get along, and she was too overbearing, and he left, or, which is not really natural, but you had cases that sometimes the mother left the father with the children. But guess what? They always returned. Because in the way we came up back in the days, it was a lot different the way y'all do it to this day. And it's just a fact. So, so what I want to get into also right now, let's pay all due respects to the Creator. Sun rises. Hotep Ashe. This is part 3, Sex Chronicles. Chapter 8, verses 18, part 3. And if you don't understand, I'm going to show you another video why men don't marry. Now, this is his brother, his opinion, right? I'm going to give you his opinion,
okay,
let you hear it.
You said it. And as I spike it, I'll tell them how Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance, so they only pay for what they need. Got it?
Here we go. I want to get right into it. Here we go.
So I've been sent this post a couple of times today, man. I really want to discuss it. It is titled, Why Men Don't Marry. Okay, so it says, because there's nothing in it for them. What exactly does marriage offer men today? Quote, men know there's a good chance they'll lose their friends, their respect, their space, their sex life, their money, and if all goes wrong, their family, end quote, says Smith, PhD, author of a book. Quote, they don't want to enter into a legal contract with someone who could effectively take half their savings, pension, and property when the honeymoon period is over. Men aren't wimping out by staying unmarried or being commitment phobes. They're being smart. Unlike women, men lose all power after they say, I do. Their masculinity dies too. Okay, before we get into the real discussion, man, I got to address the multiple reaches. Lose your friends, And your respect, you ain't losing no friends or no respect that you didn't already lose by the relationship that preceded the marriage. So that's a reach. The space thing, okay, I kind of get that, but you're giving your space the same way the woman is giving hers, so really, that cancels out. And then the sex life, you're just giving up your thought life. You're not giving up your sex life unless you stop fucking your woman. And when the marriage is going to be doomed. It's all going to go wrong if you do that. But if you wasn't ready to stop hoeing, you shouldn't have gotten married. Your money, you become the breadwinner. But if you married a woman that's not an asset, guess what? That's your fault. And if she's an asset, then she's going to 10x everything that you got going on and eventually result in more money for you at the end of the day. And if it all goes wrong, their family, like, poof, be gone. Once a divorce happens, you just lose your kids. You ain't got no access to them. No, man. First off, there's a legal system.
Now, I agree with him once again. If you can't handle the heat, don't stay in the kitchen. I agree with him. But once again, I don't agree with him all the way because he's voicing his opinion. I just wanted y'all to hear his opinion. And what I have to tell you, brothers and sisters, is that in today's society, man, you make stupid mistakes. I gotta be honest with you. You are making silly mistakes. You are. And you can't blame nobody but yourself. Don't marry somebody who you know you can't grow with. If you cannot grow with this woman, mentally, psychologically, physically, financially, why are you with her? And then I have to agree with that brother. Sex only stops. Matter of fact, let me reverse that. I agree to disagree because you might marry a woman, she might not be sexual desirable as you are. And of course, in the beginning of the course of the courtship, you're having sex and it feels good, you're having a good time. And then once she gets married, she goes, okay, I don't have to do all that no more. Because somebody in her family probably told her that. Or they could have told her, listen, girl, now that's your husband, you better get ready because, he gonna be wanting that sex. And if she's not that type of woman, like, yeah, I'm gonna give him sex, but it ain't gonna be no every day. Strike one, you got a problem. Because I told you in part 1 and 2, what is the purpose if you get married? If you don't understand why you're getting married fully, you're wasting your time. I want to go into the book of Shahrazad Ali. I read it in part 2, but I want some more information for y'all to hear it. During the lengthy courtship, she is available and willing to try anything the black man suggests. She is thoughtful in sending him cards or little love notes, taking time to do special little favors for him. His favorite meals, his favorite color, his favorite treatment, expressed using her favorite plot. Her flexible and happy behavior turns out to be a gross misrepresentation of how she really is. After the point when she feels confined, she has the man, she starts to take kind of inventory. She memorized and catalog all of her man's little I'm sorry. The reason why I can laugh because I've seen it for myself. Remember, I've been married twice. Married through the system of things by paper. And my marriage now is by its true origin. Okay? Meaning, even though I met the family in my first marriage, but this time I chose not to go to the justice of peace because I ain't married the government again. It's not happening. And in this marriage, it is death do you part. That's it. We don't need no paper. See, you believe that. You believe that. A lot of people talk about, well, if anything happens to you, listen, all you need to do is get a lawyer, and this called a will. You write in your will of your death for this woman to get everything she got, because exactly that's how they used to be. They don't want you to believe that no more. But there's a will. You write out your will, and it's all called life insurance. Not to get ahead of what I'm reading, but it's called life insurance, brothers and sisters. Don't let these people fool you. You get life insurance, and you sign the papers. She signed the papers. So if anything happens to you, guess what? She get the things that you provided for. That's the problem with a lot of you. You don't understand what's going on. So, let me continue reading. Where I left off. Hold on, brothers and sisters. She memorized the catalog of all of her man's little idealistics that she plans to change. Basically, she's gonna change that man. She believes she's gonna change the man to the perfect man. She believes she will be able to change the black man by subdued prodding and sweet request. Sometimes these changes are monumental arrangements of these personality that he has had all of his life. Nevertheless, she thinks that he can change, and she does not doubt that she is the one to change him. The black man knows nothing about this plan and believes that she accepts him as he is, just as he accepts her. Living in a false sense of security, how she begins to manipulate. All what we just read is part of manipulation. So once again, are you in a true marriage? Do you believe you are in a true marriage? You're not. You're not in a true marriage. Do you know people got married and still slept with their ex-boyfriend or their ex-husband or their ex-wives? I know for a fact that men and women done that. For a fact. I've seen partial of that. I'm going to tell you a little short story, which had really happened. A good friend of mine many years ago, we were hanging out and we wind up meeting this young woman. The young woman tell us we can hang out with her, and we were supposed to go one place. We decided to go around and hang out with her. What happened was we wind up at the young woman's house. They was having a celebration at that house. And at that house, her sister was getting married less than a week. The conversation had opened up about men's genitals, how big the genital is. So the sister says, my future husband's genitals, it's a nice size. So her sister goes, and I just jumped around on the story, but let me go back a little bit, that my friend slept with this woman that he met less than 2 hours. Real talk. Real time. He slept with her. So, moving forward, at the house, she says, oh, my friend here, she say my boyfriend, because they all knew who her boyfriend was. She said, my friend here has a giant dick. I want you to hear me now, Because see, a lot of you don't believe these stories. You don't think they exist, or you did it yourself. And you know you was in a similar story what I'm about to finish. So her sister says, my friend here has a giant dick. The sister, without hesitation, said, stop lying. She said, oh yeah, he do. So she says, let me see it. He said, what? I said, because I was there, I said, aren't you going to get married? Less than a week? The sister said, yeah, and I'm going to marry him. But I'm going to tell you this. If you let me get some of that dick, and it's good the way my sister said it is, I want you to come fuck me once a week. So I said, but you going to be married. She said, I don't give a fuck. If that dick is big the way my sister said it is, I'm telling you what I want. I was there. I couldn't believe it. If somebody had told me that story and I wasn't there, I would have like, you're bullshitting. Real talk, real time, real story. So my friend said, come here, let me show you. So they went off into the house. Now, I didn't see what happened at that point in time. But the young lady came back smiling, glowing, real talk, real time. And she grabbed her sister and said, yo, that shit stretched me out. He has to come. Hear me now. He has to come and give it to me once a week. She said, are you serious with him? She says, no, he's my friend. Now, mind you, she got her boyfriend. And mind you, the sisters get married less than a week. So you're not going to tell me that. A lot of you so-called believe whatever you believe what marriage really is. You get a divorce because you was doomed from the beginning. You've been lying to yourself from the beginning by manipulating the man. Because see, her husband don't know she been stretched out. But she gonna go to her husband, just as Shahrazad Lee mentioned, and I've mentioned him plenty of times. You go to your husband, and you constantly making him feel good and make him feel like a king. But that's not what your whole terminology is about. It's about for you to flip his personality into what you can do and manage him to what you want him to be. And control his mind, control his body, control his finances. So you think you're getting married, huh? This is why here now, in this time of generation, a lot of men are not going to get married. They're not. Because more and more information is being poured out. Now, a lot of women, and I'm about to say this, a lot of women that's legitimately really want to get married and willing to wait for the mate who they can grow and flow through their journey with. They have to suffer because there's a great percentage of females that's living a false sense of security. We also got to blame the media, TV, and I know you don't want to hear it, white females. Because a lot of white females were not in the marriage for the long haul. They was in that marriage because of financial status quo. And black women have learned to adapt that style, watching on TV, showing TV shows, magazines. They're like, hey, if she can do it, why can't I? Now the locals, which is meaning the regular community of men and women that's just trying to courtship each other in these communities, their marriage don't last too long because they're just get into because this is what they choose to do. It's a game. Look, y'all, I'm married. Look, I got my husband. Look. And the female's gonna test her. They're gonna test her too. Is he loyal? Huh? Are you fucking him every day? Now I'm about to tell you something before we get off. I said fuck him every day, am I correct? Because you want a monogamous relationship. You got to have a monogamous relationship. Right? This is where a lot of you do not. I'm sorry. You don't understand about marriage. Because you believe psychologically that when you get married, the man's supposed to be submissive because you think you're submissive. You're not submissive. You believe that you're submissive, but you're not. Understand, when you telling a man that you want him to be monogamy, you don't want to share him with nobody. You don't want him to do nothing. He has to do everything for you. Financially, psychologically, physically, all that. But what you don't realize, if you're not built like that, meaning if that man every day, 7 days a week, he says, listen, I want to fuck. 7 days a week, he want to fuck. You know you ain't going to do that. You going to find ways how to get out of it. You're going to talk about your stomach hurts. You're going to talk about I'm bleeding this month. You're going to talk about you got cramps. You're going to talk about I'm tired. You're going to talk about I've done so much overtime. You're going to come up with whatever excuse you can so you ain't got to fuck this man 7 days a week. Peep the game. You know it's true. You know it's true. You don't want to tell the truth because you know it's true. Now, I know what you're saying right now. It's not always about fucking, is it? It's always about fucking. What you think you on this planet to do? You, according to your scriptures, since some of you are religion, see, you're not even really religion. That's why I told you you're not really married. Because according to your books, your religious books, it tells you that when you were married, you're supposed to obey your husband. Not the other way around. He's supposed to respect you as a queen.